Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you joined me in my kitchen today. So today the game plan is to not trip over the pug. Here, I've got to show you this. My kids took him to the DOG PARK earlier today and he wore himself out. And so normally when I'm cooking, he gets out of my way, but he's out for the count tonight, I think. Anyway, today we are making just perfect, juicy, moist, succulent, all those words, chicken breast, oven baked chicken breast. It is one of the basics, but oftentimes when you're in a hurry, you'll just overcook them and they'll be dry and the kids are complaining, nobody wants to eat dinner. Just taking your time to learn a couple of these secrets, you're gonna have really good chicken breast that you can eat plain with rice or mashed potatoes. You can chop them up and add to other casseroles or make chicken wraps or on top of a grilled chicken salad. So sometimes learning how to make just a really good moist chicken breast is super important. So that's what we're doing today, so let's get started. I just stepped over Watson and he perked up. Okay. So I don't have a meat mallet. I actually will use the back of my knife. So one thing to do is to get your chicken breast and see how this end is a lot thinner than this end. So if you can just kind of take the time to beat it down just a little bit so that your chicken is closer to one size thickness, that's going to help your cooking time. So I'm gonna do that real quick and I'll be right back. Did I splash myself? Yes, I splashed myself. Short people problems. I'm always splashing myself in the sink. Okay, so these chicken breasts are quite large. Normally I would fillet them. I'm gonna go ahead and cook them as whole chicken breasts and then we'll probably cut them in half for our portion sizes. So a key component to getting these chicken breasts to be juicy and moist is to have a very hot oven. So prep ahead, make sure that you preheat your oven. If you've got a convection oven like I do, 425. If you just got a regular oven, do it at 400. Cooking them hot is gonna seal in those juices. So now we're going to make a quick rub. So I've got some olive oil, I'm gonna toss liberally, and some brown sugar. Brown sugar will help give it a pretty color. A lot of times when people bake chicken breast, what happens is they look kind of like pale and unappetizing when they come out of the oven, but using a little bit of brown sugar and some paprika will help give it a nice, pretty visual color. So we're gonna use some bright red paprika, some garlic powder. I love garlic powder. I use it all the time. I don't buy garlic salt, it's garlic powder. And onion powder, same thing. I like to keep my salt separate so that I can control the quality and quantity. Have fun. Like tonight I'm gonna use dill. Other times I might use thyme or oregano. You could use rosemary. You could leave out the herb if you don't want a different herb. Again, I wouldn't leave out the paprika. That's gonna really help with the visual. If you really don't like paprika, you could use chili powder, although that is an ingredient in chili powder. You could leave it out and the brown sugar will do the trick, or adding maybe a little bit of Worcestershire sauce could also help give it that a little bit of color. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and add some salt and pepper. There's my oven telling me it's preheated. And then all we're gonna do is coat this chicken, make sure that this rub gets on both sides and all around. Oh, that wasn't my oven, that was my Instapot. So tonight I'm doing plain white rice with this. I asked the kids what side dish they wanted and they voted for roasted broccoli and plain white rice. I'm gonna show you how to make a pan sauce to just be able to pour on top of the chicken at the end. And then you soak that into the rice. Oh, it's so good. So, as you can see, we have, a nice, good coating on both sides of our chicken. And we will lay them out on a cookie sheet that I have some parchment paper. Now these are big chicken breasts. Like I said, I weighed one out. They're all about the same size just to see for the video to give y'all frame of reference. Normally I wouldn't weigh my chicken, but these are 11 ounce, about, I think this one's okay, spoon, stop that. This one right here might be closer to 12. For these, oh, and you also want them not touching, okay? Because you want the air to be able to flow. So even staggering them a little bit like this will help, because you want the air to go around your chicken as it's cooking. These are gonna take close to 25-30 minutes. We're gonna check on them in 25 minutes. I like to use a thermometer to make sure that we get our chicken to an internal temperature of 165 degrees. If you had smaller chicken breasts, they might take closer to, like if you had a 6 ounce chicken breast, 7 ounce, might take 18 to 20 minutes. But these big guys, gonna be closer to 30. So make sure you plan accordingly. That's my biggest failure with doing chicken when it doesn't come out great, is when I don't plan enough time for how thick they can be. All right, let's get these guys in the oven. All right, I'm gonna put them in on the middle rack and we'll set a timer for 25 minutes and check on them then. All right, while the chicken is cooking, I'm gonna start making the broccoli, but I brought you in here in my office because I wanted to show you. My subscribers who've been watching me for a while know that I made this, I'll just insert the photo here, a giant stuffed animal grokthar for my nephew Declan, and I made this adorable Dwight Schrute. So Declan is like almost 2. This Dwight is for my nephew Sammy, who's 16. And then today I just finished this girl. She is, I'm probably saying her name wrong, Tsuyu Asui. Ooh, it's from My Hero Academia. Obviously I'm not a fan, but my niece who is 13 is. And so I finished crocheting this doll today and it's so adorable. Look at the little buttons. So I'm gonna get these in the mail to my niece and nephew that live in Texas tomorrow. And then I'm starting on a Pugasaurus for my niece Holly tomorrow. So just wanted to give y'all a quick crochet update. So apparently I forgot to turn on my microphone. So I'm gonna try this with a voiceover. We're gonna check on the chicken. And oh my gosh, it looks so great. Pull it out. All right, here I am checking the temperature. And it actually gets to be a little bit more than 165. We want to aim for 165. That's the temperature that's safe to eat chicken. This gets close to 170, but even still, I think it'll be worth it to put it under the broiler to get the edges a little extra crispy. So we're going to pop it under the broiler for a few minutes. And let's see who can catch my mistake in this screen. Next up is to make a super simple pan sauce. We're going to take a dab of butter, a healthy dab of butter, and mix in some garlic. Put that on low and give the time for the butter to melt. Here you see me pulling the chicken out of the oven and realizing that I completely forgot to take the parchment paper out. And under the broiler, the parchment paper did catch on fire. So as you can see, we have a little bit of smoldering going on, but that's all good. And what I wanted to show you and continuously teach you on my channel is that, mistakes happen in the kitchen. And sometimes it's just rolling with the punches and keep on keeping on. Like, forgetting to turn on your mic. Here, you want to stir in the drippings, your chicken drippings into the pan. And mix that in really well with the garlic and the butter. You'll spoon this over your chicken when you're done. Hi, Watson. So you're going to want to let your chicken rest for about 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes. And then once it's had time to rest, then you can give it a chop. Unless you want to serve it whole, that is. But if you want to cut it for serving in a chicken wrap or on a chicken salad, things like that. And you can see it is perfectly just juicy, but the
letting it rest lets the juices stay in the chicken and not spill out onto the cutting. So here's the thing, guys. I started this YouTube channel partially because I wanted to show my kids that people make mistakes and they just keep going. And I'm not perfect, but I do know a lot about how to recover from things in the kitchen. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, mistakes and all. This pan sauce is optional, but think of it as an insurance policy. It'll add moisture to your chicken if you need it. Here's a photo of the final chicken, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you at the next one.